Let me tell you about a woman who didn't just climb the ladder. She built it from the ground up. Kome built her brand from scratch. She didn't grow up with much. Her home was modest, comfort, rare. Luxury? She only ever saw that on TV. Her parents did their absolute best, but life wasn't always kind. From a young age, Kome knew one thing. If she wanted a better life, she had to make it herself. Now, here's what people don't realize. She wasn't always the strict, calculated woman you see today. Life made her that way. Growing up, she watched her mother stretch every single naira, sacrificing quietly. She watched her father struggle with responsibilities that never seemed to end. And somewhere in between all that, Kome made a decision. She would never live a life where surviving was the only goal. So she shifted. She became observant, careful, intentional. While others her age were distracted, she was planning, learning, building discipline early. But ambition, it doesn't come easy. She faced rejection. People doubted her. Some laughed at her dreams. Others didn't take her seriously, especially because of her appearance and her background. Those experiences, they hardened her, not bitterly, but in a way that made her focused. Kome learned to keep her emotions in check. She learned not to rely on validation, and she learned that respect is earned through results. That's exactly where the strict Kome people talk about was born. Not from pride, but from survival. She started small, very small. In her self-contained apartment, with limited space and resources, Kome began her business. No fancy setup, no big support system, just her vision, and determination. There were nights she worked until she could barely keep her eyes open. Days she wondered if it would ever pay off. Times she had to choose between comfort or investing in her dream. She chose her dream every single time.
And slowly, things changed. One client turned into two turned into 10. 10 became bigger than she ever imagined. Today, Kome is no longer that girl in a small apartment. She's now a CEO, running a growing company with over 50 staff under her. But success didn't soften her. If anything, it made her even more disciplined. She demands excellence, she doesn't tolerate excuses, and she carries herself with a quiet confidence that commands respect without asking for it. People admire the result, but they don't always understand the journey. Kome is not just a boss. She's a woman who built herself piece by piece through pressure, persistence, and purpose. Now, picture this morning. She was already in her office. Kome hated lateness, and she was already angry. Earlier that morning, she had even sacked the cleaner. Why? Because he didn't dust her table properly. A little dust on her polished desk was unacceptable. Kome didn't hesitate. She didn't argue. Mistakes were costly here. So, when the conference room door opened and a young man stepped in, everyone froze. That was the first warning. The room was tense. 6 staff, laptops open, nobody daring to move. They all knew what this meant. Kome didn't look up. Her eyes stayed on the document in front of her, flipping a page calmly. Then she closed the file gently, too gently. Then she looked up.
Good morning, ma.
You're late.
I'm sorry, there was traffic.
Next time, leave your house earlier than your excuses.
A few people lowered their gaze to hide their reactions. The meeting continued. Numbers, campaign results, deadlines. Kome spoke with precision. She pointed out flaws nobody else noticed, corrected strategies before they failed, asked questions nobody could answer fast enough. She was in control, as always. But halfway through the meeting, something shifted. The same young man. He wasn't fidgeting like the others, wasn't avoiding her eyes. He was calm, actually listening. When she asked a difficult question, the room went quiet, as usual. Then, I have an idea, he said. Kome's gaze snapped to him, not because he spoke, but because of how he did it. No fear, no pressure, just steady. Go on, she said, her tone softening, just a little. And here's the part viewers need to know. Jide, in new stuff, didn't just speak, he explained clearly. I think if we focus more on social media engagement and schedule posts when our audience is most active, we could increase reach by 30%. Simple, smart, confident, but not arrogant. Kome didn't interrupt, didn't correct him, didn't shut him down. When he finished, she tapped her pen once, then nodded. Not bad. Everyone else looked shocked, but Kome felt something else. A strange, unfamiliar pause in her chest. Not anger, not irritation, just stillness. Kome looked away first, meeting adjourned. Chairs moved quickly, people packed up, relieved. But as she stood to leave, her eyes flicked back to Jide. He was already looking at her, smiling, not nervous. A soft smile, like he wasn't afraid of her at all. Kome frowned slightly. That was new, and she wasn't sure she liked it.